They say marriage is like a deck of cards. In the beginning, all you need is two hearts and a diamond. By the end, you wish you had a club and a spade.
I'm sick of being just a weekend dad.
Welcome back to the Pissed Off Parent Podcast, the only show that looks at family law and says, it ain't broken, it's fucking rigged. Today we're talking about Jeff Morgan. His nickname, the Godfather. Not because he runs the mob, but because he's trying to whack America's biggest mafia racket, no-fault divorce. That's right, the law that lets your spouse end your marriage faster than they can cancel Netflix. How the hell did we get here? Let's rewind back to 1969. Woodstock was happening, hippies were high, and California decided to blow up marriage by passing the Family Law Act. Governor Ronald Reagan, yes, Mr. Family Values himself, signed the first no-fault divorce law.
Not today, bitch!
Why, you ask? Because back then, some people say couples had to fake affairs or beatings to get divorced. Judges were sitting through the world's worst improv show. Yes, Your Honor, I totally cheated with the milkman, who doesn't exist. Yes, Your Honor, she beats me with a frying pan every Tuesday. So Reagan said, well, screw it. Let's just say irreconcilable differences and walk away. Problem is, later he admitted it was the biggest mistake of his political career. Congrats, Ronnie. You invented Tinder divorce before Tinder existed. You know what always bugged me about Ronald Reagan? He was a family values guy, but he was divorced himself, so this made no sense. It got my spidey sense tingling. Because the one thing about the government that I have learned is they are not here to help you. So I started doing research and trying to figure out what was really happening, and I have a very methodical process on finding information. Eventually, I did find an article from the CatholicExchange.com website that talked about Assemblyman James A. Hayes of Southern California. Hayes was in the middle of a nasty divorce. He didn't want to get dragged through the court, lose money, or get embarrassed. So instead of taking his medicine like every other man of that era, he pushed a law to make divorce as easy as breaking a lease. Hayes literally screwed over America to save his own ass. But the damage was already done. Iowa became the next state to enact no-fault divorce. And by the mid-1980s, every state had jumped on board. Because why not? Destroying families was suddenly efficient. Like the DMV, but with custody battles. And it's stat time. Before 1969, the divorce rate hovered around 10% of marriages. By the early 1980s, it had doubled to nearly 50%. In 2023, the U.S. had about 6.1 marriages and 2.4 divorces per 1,000 people. That's 2.38 marriages for every divorce. Sounds decent until you realize half of those marriages are people on their second or third rodeo. In 1980, divorce peaked like booger sugar. America was at 5.3 divorces per 1,000. That's when every other weekend dad became a cultural icon. Now, divorce rates are technically down, but so are marriage rates. Translation, people aren't divorcing as much because they're too smart to get married in the first place. And the people that are hearkening back to the olden days, gray divorce is booming as well. 36% of all divorces now involve people over 50. That's right. Grandma and grandpa are splitting up on their way to bingo night. Now, there are some studies from way back when that kind of show that no-fault divorce lowered female self-deletion rates and domestic violence rates, but the TikTok generation couldn't handle that causation and correlation discussion. Let's speed run through some stats here. About 23 million U.S. children live in single-parent families, with 14.3 million in mother-only households. Roughly 1 in 4 children, 25%, live with a single parent and no other adults, over 3 times the global average of around 7%. Around 30% of children in single-parent homes live in poverty. Of the 28% that are in poverty, single mothers make up over 80% of that number. The median income for single mothers is around $40,000 compared to $57,000 for single fathers. Children of single mothers are twice as likely to suffer mental health or behavioral problems. Kids from single-parent homes score around 22% lower in reading and 15% lower in math. Around 33% of father-absent homes repeat a grade, versus the 12% in two-parent homes. 85% of youth have behavioral issues, 85% of youth in prison, and 63% of youth self-deletions come from fatherless homes. Research has shown that children with divorced parents have a 31% dropout risk, and those born to unwed parents about 37%, versus significantly lower among children from married homes. Daughters of single parents are 75% to 111% more likely to give birth as teens. Sons and daughters are more likely to repeat the cycle. And here's some overall maltreatment numbers. Roughly 618,000 children were abused or neglected. 77.2% of perpetrators were parents. 37.6% were mothers acting alone, while 23.6% were fathers acting alone. 20.7% involve both parents. Females are 78% of the perpetrators of fatal child abuse. Natural mothers account for 93% of physical neglect, 86% of educational neglect, 78% of emotional neglect, 60% of physical abuse, and 55% of emotional abuse. And in addition to all of that, we've got declining birth rates. That is what no-fault divorce has gotten us. Now the fun part. Enter Jeff Morgan, the Godfather. He's not going to kiss Ronald Reagan on this one. He filed a 31-page lawsuit in Texas saying no-fault divorce is unconstitutional. His argument? Texas Law 6.001 lets anyone say marriage is insupportable and boom, it's over. That's legalese for I'm bored and I met Chad at CrossFit and I want out. The other spouse can't fight back. Judges don't check evidence. It's one word nuke. Morgan says that violates due process, equal protection, and religious freedom. What makes this different and has every family law attorney quaking in their boots? He's not lobbying lawmakers. He's trying to burn the law down in court. If he wins, it sets fire to no-fault divorce statutes in other states. This isn't reform, it's a Molotov cocktail. You know what nobody wants to admit? The majority of divorces today are filed by women. And not because of abuse or some catastrophic event, but because they're bored. That's the word researchers themselves use. Lack of excitement, unhappiness, not fulfilled. Translation, bored. And let's not forget, these are the same broads who couldn't wait to walk down the aisle, who just had to have that $30,000 wedding, that perfect Instagram photos, the vows in front of God, family, and friends, all that forever and ever talk. But whenever forever starts looking like routine, poof, suddenly it's time to throw dad in family court and split the house in half. And in case you forgot, here's mine.
Today I choose you to be my wife. As I stand here and look at you, I see all the things I fell in love with. I promise to always protect your life with mine. I promise to love you more each new day than the day before. You'll always be the best part of my day.
New family. I can't wait to spend the rest of our life with you, always being crazy and looking forward to sitting on the front porch holding hands with you when we're old.
Brandy, I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a constant reminder of my devotion and love. I dedicate myself to the pursuit of your happiness, and I share with you all that I possess until the Lord takes you home. Dwayne, I give you this ring as a constant reminder of my devotion and love. I dedicate myself to the pursuit of your happiness, and I share with you all that I possess until the Lord takes you home. Okay. So for as much as Dwayne and Brandy have consented together and pledged their faith to each other in holy wedlock and have witnessed their vows before God and the company of friends and family and have sealed the same by giving and receiving rings, I therefore, by the authority vested in me as a servant of Jesus Christ, I pronounce that they are husband and wife. What God has joined together, let no man tear apart. Let's pray. Our Father, bless this couple as they face together life. Bless Dwayne as he leads his house and his role as a Christian husband. Give him strength, energy, and virtue that he may fulfill the task that you have planned for him. Give him wisdom for the great decisions of life that are before him and his family. May your special blessings be with Brandy as she accepts her role as a Christian wife. Grant her strength of body, mind, and spirit that she may fulfill her task and that you have planned for her. Give her wisdom to be a role model in establishing a loving, caring Christian home for her family. Lord, I seek that they find peace and joy and purpose in their family. As they go from this room, may they never go from your presence. Bless them and keep them and make your face shine upon them. We ask these things in the name of Christ. Amen.
And those vows mean as much to me today as they do the day I made them. If you're not willing to make those commitments, don't get married. If Texas kills no-fault divorce, game changes. The I'm bored, I'm not happy excuse goes right out the window. You can't just wake up one day and file because you want a new adventure. You'll have to prove something real. Adultery, cruelty, abandonment. Actual violations of those vows you swore in front of everyone. That's called accountability. You said for better or worse, not for better until brunch with the girls gets boring. And here's the part that pisses me off. For 50 years, no-fault divorce made marriage easier to leave than a gym membership. The Godfather's lawsuit asks a real question. Should one person be able to detonate a family with zero evidence? If the answer is yes, then marriage isn't a covenant, a promise, or even a contract. It's a free trial with auto-renew turned off. And that's why Jeff Morgan, the Godfather, himself is out there leading the charge to overturn no-fault divorce. We've seen what 50 years of this scam has done to society. Broken homes, destroyed kids, and marriage turned into a joke. Men and women need to stop treating marriage like a subscription service with auto-renew turned off. It's supposed to be a lifelong commitment, not a windfall for women the moment they get bored. This fight is about accountability. This fight is about families. And if Texas leads the way, maybe the rest of the country will finally wake up. Pissed off parent, out!